It means everything. It's our legacy gone to the city's legacy. That journey of creation with the families, their participation. I always say to people, we're tools to do what we do, but they give it the magic and the life.
A painting is an illusion, sculpture is a reality. So that's what we key into. And as an artist, you want the creation to start to give you, it starts to lead its way. I always think you have a concept idea from the research you've done, and you have this thing in your head of how you're going to see it, but then it just starts to take its own course. That's the magic of sculpture.
So what does it mean to us to create a big public piece of work in a major capital city? It means the world. From the moment we did Wembley and right the way through the other cities and now Cardiff. It means everything. It's our legacy gone to the city's legacy. So getting the likenesses and making sure everybody's happy with that piece is really important. And when they come, they sort of judge it and it gets pulled around. I see it from my interpretation, or how I perceive them to look. And then suddenly getting their interpretations in it from each different family. With this piece, there was 3 great legends, which you've got Clive Sutherland, Billy Boston and Gus Risman, all thinking very differently. Also all thinking about when they remember him best in his years, from his sort of 30s to his 40s. And so there's that period where people have that mindset of how they remember them. So we have to then really try to bridge that and capture that likeness. At the end of the day, we're creating a piece of bronze which is as eternal as diamonds. And when you're doing that, being as static as like carving stone or bronze, when you're working with it, you've just got to capture a moment, a likeness, just an energy. And that's about the heart and the soul of creation and getting the family to enjoy that part of the process. And when you see them start to really live with what we're creating over the months, they start to understand it, they start to see what you see, your interpretation. With their vision and your vision, we come to this conclusion of getting something that we're all happy with. And that's massive, that journey of creation with the families, their participation. I always say to people, we're tools to do what we do, but they give it the magic and the life. And once we've got the likenesses and the families are happy, the committee's happy, well, this was involved in the council and the government part. So once they're all happy, then we start to switch to get the mould made. The mould's basically taking the component parts apart because we couldn't cast it in one because it'd be just too big to do. So what we're looking to do then is take the sculpture apart. So we'll break it down to sections that we can cast in solid bronze. And once we've done that, the mould comes together. So we'll literally use a latex mould, build that over the piece itself, then back it with fiberglass. Then we're happy with all them pieces and then component parts for it. We then take them apart, and then moulds become where we pour the lost wax into, which is another part of the next stage of the process. So the next stage of the process, from after the mould, we then sign and rework any parts of that mould to make sure it's sharp and clean. So once we've finished the lost wax and we've worked that again, that's then prepped up for the fillers to go in, the risers to come out. So each part ends up looking like a huge chandelier with feeds and exhausts in. Once that's done, then we go to the ceramic process. Ceramic process, then we get them coats on over many days. That's then fired up and all the lost wax comes out and it's ready for pouring, ready to go to bronze. Then we check them ceramics out because they're the one-off ceramics that go forward to make our bronze. Once that's done, everything's locked in the pit ready to go. We bring out the metal and we pour. We have so many seconds to get it in. Molten metal is hotter than molten lather. You've got to get it in. You have seconds to get it in. There is no messing around. You've just got to go for it. And that's the magic of it actually. You know, within that process, instant, that energy, the heat, everything is just magical. And once they're in, then it's done. We're ready to let them cool. And that's the process then. Once they're cooled, then we'll then start taking off the shell coats with our ceramic coat, which is the one-off shell. Each one is knocked off and then ready for prepping down. So once that's all done, we put them all together, do all the welding, get the structure ready for actually being put out there and making sure every part of it is finished and brushed down. Once that's brushed down, everything's cleaned down, they look beautiful, then they're really polished as the bronze. And then from that point we start to lay on the patinas, so we get that, heat them back up, and we start putting on sulfates and literally liver sulfate and get that lovely classic bronze patina that you see all over the major cities around the world. And that's when it becomes something else. It transfers the colour, brings the life to it, the light and the dark. So that gives it that real depth. So from that point then, we wax it, seal it all off, and we're ready to go to Cardiff. The really exciting part is when everybody that's commissioned it, the council and the people and the public come to see it, ready for the unveiling, which is always a little bit of pressure because you don't know how it's going to be received, even though you give it everything, literally thousands and thousands of hours on it for months and months, you know, over a year plus. To put something like that, your heart and soul goes into it. So you're on sort of tender hooks a little bit from when that unveiling. But when we get it on site and we're all waiting, the cloths over it, from the moment the cloth's pulled off and you hear that wow, it's fantastic. You know, people are happy with it. It's just a massive feeling of almost a massive emotion where you do get quite tearful, you get a lump in your throat, and that's amazing. And when you turn around to look at the people that have commissioned you to do it, and they're the same, the public, the applause, and at the end of the day, the city was happy with it, everybody loves it. They even said it lifted the actual bar of the sculptures in Cardiff, which somebody actually said off the council, which I thought was a fantastic thing to say. So many people photographed it, it was a lovely day. And the icing on the cake really is that it won an award as well for a public sculpture. For us, that shows the quality of our finishing, the heart and passion we put into everything, and that's what it means to us. It's the legacy. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Let us know what you think of the video and subscribe for more, and then also just let us know if you enjoyed it.